Eight-team entered this morning at 8 a.m. It is now a quarter to 5 p.m. Two teams remain here to take the title of champion at the St. Charles Overwatch 2 Invitational. Chef Billy, Tiny Shiny, back with you for the penultimate series of the day. It is your hometown. St. Charles team, the Cyber Corsairs, going up against Francis Howell's Spartans. Oh my word. This has been a long time coming. They're ready to go. We're ready to go.
We are. This has been here all day. I've been trying very hard to contain myself, but you know what? Screw that. We are excited. This is the grand finals. It has been 8 hours, more than that. It's been more than a whole school day for these kids, Billy. I mean, it is time to crown the champion here. We got to look at the journey that they've taken through all of this. The Spartans, undefeated, ran their way through the upper bracket to get to the grand finals. Significantly fewer matches played on their ends. They knocked the St. Charles Cyber Corsairs down to the lower bracket. They had to fight their way back up to get the revenge match against the team that put them down in the lower bracket. Something special to note, though, about the series. Two things, actually. First, it is no longer a first to two. It is a first to three. The series is now longer. Second, there is a bracket reset in place. So if the St. Charles Cyber Corsairs are able to win 3 maps before the Spartans, we will go into a bracket reset. The teams will play again for all the marbles there. It's going to be long. It's going to be grueling. It's going to test these players' endurance. They've been playing all day long. At some point, you start to lose focus. You start to get tired. This is not the time for that to happen. It is full steam ahead. It has to be for both of these teams to prove what they've got. They've done so well in every match that we've seen them so far, and I wouldn't have any other 2 squads here in the grand finals.
And the big thing right now that we were talking about, the maps, where Cheeky Scrub versus Dashing Escape is going to be coming through. Here is our guaranteed first 3 maps: Route 66, Colosseo, Blizzard World. Reinhardt does not generally play very well on Route 66. Now, pair it with a Symmetra, it might have some viability. And we'll see if they continue to use this strat, because Bacon and Scrub really getting it done cheekily, I might add. So this is going to be a battle of wills. We have now seen the final form of your St. Charles team, and Francis Howell have been on an extended break. So have they been able to maintain their level of being warmed up? Are they going to be a little bit rusty coming in here? Those are 2 things that I think make this very first map so incredibly delicious on my end. I want to see, are they going to be able to handle the pressure coming in from a team that is on a roll? Their only loss came to this Spartan squad. And, I mean, they're crosstown rivals. You cross a river to get over into St. Louis. And, St. Charles is to the northwest of the city. So, I mean, this is more than just a couple of high schools going at it. This is personal. This is local. This is the grand finals, and we're starting on Route 66.
Route 66. A map that we do fear a little for the St. Charles Varsity Cyber Corsairs, the composition that they like to run. Cheeky Scrub, an expert when it comes to the Reinhardt. Route 66, not meant for the Reinhardt. The teleporter from Ice Meal Bacon, that's going to give you a nice chance, but especially when you look at what Francis Howell tend to do, they get up in your face, or they can play the range. The biggest thing about them is that they are disciplined. They know how their macro gameplay affects their decision making, and that is what gets them. They're undefeated. They have not felt loss yet. Today, they're not ready to do so. Again, they're rolling out with the Orisa, Lifeweaver, Junkrat. Now, this is something. That's kind of all the words that I have for it, Billy.
I mean, you've got spam, you've got close quarter engagement, you've got stability in a tank line, you've got all the support in the world that you need. You've got the get out of jail free card with that pedal and with the life grip. Yeah, I mean, they're looking for it. They're looking for this on the back.
Scrubber is in, but so is Windowmaker. All the Immortality Field down, Javelin backed in. Dashing doesn't have the health to proceed, and that is great for Windowmaker because they were in a dire situation. This is the St. Charles Eye that we know and love. Their aggression, they're moving towards the spawns, Billy.
There's a good point here, though, that the Symmetra is out of the fight. They will have to use that teleporter to get themselves closer. So there is a window of opportunity here, especially with the speed option. Well, I mean, they have a speed option too, so I mean, they can actually go back with it. But I don't know how V-Man Trio is going to be able to deal with all the damage coming in. I mean, the healing output has to be a lot higher than what I think they are expecting. There's so many avenues here for St. Charles to hold. And look at this, they're just going around and circumventing all this damage.
You're gonna go ahead and take that high ground off. You're forcing Supa and V-Man Trio to rotate themselves, and it makes it harder for them to get value. This tool in the bank to shut it all down. A Riptire, we know him, we've loved him, seen him all day. JD has let it rip. It's continuing its journey around the map. What is it gonna be able to find? It gets two! Ice meal bacon and bread exploded into a pile of flesh and bone. Francis Howell Central once again leading on JD to give them that win con and move through the first point.
I mean, when you think you've got one head of the dragon off, it's done. And these staggers are going to be massive. They're going to get to the hotel easily. They might even get around first corner. And especially if we see Kata, which, by the way, we have not seen them on a Genji today. They have Blade ready to go. They have the escape tool as well with the life grip from Life Weaver. You can also put the Tree of Life down there. Win these in there with that tree, but they're going to go to the high ground. They're going to claim this high ground for their own.
Up there. His first shatter in hand, clearly looking to put it down very soon, but they're going to come up in their way. That's the moment that you strike, but the counterplay, the Life Weaver, the Tree of Life, plus the Life Grip. V-Man Tringo single-handedly saved their entire team from decimation. Cheeky Scrub at a point of no return. As St. Charles High Varsity, they're going to have to fight this without their tank, which is not going to end well, knowing how Dashing does an excellent job of chasing down these individual players. They are not going to last long when the tank and the entirety of the focus fire that the Spartans have are in your sights.
They haven't been able to deal with it, but there goes Brad. Finally, they clean it up. And, I mean, they had to invest in it. They invested 2 ultimates into that fight. I mean, they've still got the Terror Surge. Nothing online for Bread and company. The Sound Barrier was used to no avail.
You don't have anything with the Sound Barrier. There's not many defensive ultimates, or what do you come out with? You have the early artillery strike, potentially, that you do, but, I mean, you're looking down the barrel of an Ant Matrix, plus the Terror Surge. These are all things that they're getting beaten down in the choke. How do they get out of this? They're completely trapped. The Immortality Field, it's going to keep them up and healthy, but the task has been accomplished. They understood the assignment, as you like to say, Billy. Francis Howell Central yet to be stopped with 4 minutes on the 3rd point.
I mean, we had one fight that won. Cheeky Scrub, that's a nice bit of aggression coming in. Now you have the opportunity, but they're going into an Ant Matrix. They got one of their own, though.
Ooh. Yep, popping it on both sides. Cheeky Scrub using the but with sub 100 HP, making us a little bit nervous over here. St. Charles, they're going to hold on to this corner. This is one of the best points for them to hold. Their composition will shine on the 3rd objective of Route 66. This is where they wanted to be. But a lot of time ahead of them. They need to use these ultimates carefully, hope to get value out of each and every one. The artillery strike, not quite finding it where you wanted to, but that gives time for Cheeky Scrub to walk up into the front lines, push Francis Howell even further back and build up closer to this Earth Shatter.
Shatter could be the way to stop the aggression.
It is the
They've
way.
looked at I mean, Ice Small Bacon 2 has really been playing so well on the Symmetra. They got it done. So now we're going to look for the tire to come out. It came out. It didn't get anything. The Blade is ready to go.
Blade, everything. Kata even has a little bit of overhealth with the Tree of Life coming in. That's sliced and diced. Still looking for more. That's 1, that's 3, that's 4 for Kata. Francis Howell Central, an ace for the Genji. Now this is how you break through the defense of St. Charles High.
This is pod racing. No, this is Overwatch. And I mean, this was perfect coming from them. And I mean, they invest almost everything into it. So I mean, now we're looking for Sound Barrier to keep you in the fight. 2:30 on the clock. Nothing on the board here for Francis Howell. They're doing this all in the neutral now.
you don't have anything. I mean, this is going to be a scramble. It's still possible to win it, especially with JD on the battlefield. It's always possible when the Junkrat chucks the bombs into the mist. That's the two main players on St. Charles High goal, and the sound barrier didn't even come out. There was nothing on the board for the sustain as the Spartans overwhelmed St. Charles Varsity team. And a full completion with 2 minutes, 8 seconds on the clock. You could have not asked for anything better from the Spartans.
This, that was everything. They completely devalued that sound barrier. Tiny, that is not easy to do.
No.
And they just shrugged it off like it was a feather on the shoulder and just continued on with their workmanlike performance. That is what this team from Francis Howell brings. St. Charles, I mean, the first point hold, good. I mean, you take 2 minutes off the clock. But then the ultimate cycle starts coming through, and that's where we really saw them shine. I mean, 2 massive blades come out from Kata. We're used to seeing him on the Bastion. Nah. I got Genji, dude. And I mean, it was exactly what they needed. They get it done. Now they are into their defensive phase. Can't wait to see what this is going to happen.
You're doing the same thing, right? You don't need to change stuff up. We know how good dashing is onto this Sigma. I mean, you're giving more space, more support for your team to just kind of hang out. And Kata and JD do whatever they like. That is how this composition works. But it's not over. St. Charles High, arguably much better on the attack than they are the defense, Billy.
I'm ecstatic right now. I'm so happy that this is going through. And I mean, this is just fantastic work for them. So I don't know what else to say other than we're in here for a treat. Make sure that you're also following on Twitter, CCG _ Esports. No, CCG Esport on Twitter, sending us pictures of the facility right now as we join battle.
This is not done yet. This is not done yet. St. Charles is starting to push this pillar around the corner. Look how aggressive this Sigma has. V-Man Trio has been massive on the Lifeweaver. That hero has seen so many changes throughout the day, and now finally viable V-Man Trio using it to their maximum. Francis Howell, they do lose out on Kata. Even if they're still up in the fight, we know that St. Charles, they will often push themselves to the limits, but yeah, you lose Cheeky Scrub. That's a get the heck out of there moment.
Yep, I mean, but 91% to shatter? Are you kidding me?
Oh,
no.
What?
94% towards the shatter in this economy.
Oh. That doesn't happen. That does not happen unless you are Cheeky Scrub. But they got enough. Francis Howell have one of those of their own. They got JD, who has the whip tire. I mean, what do? You get the immortality field out if you even have to, and JD just makes everything go boom. That's as simple as it is. St. Charles, they're pretty slow to take these fights here. Just the small stackers that they've been getting, it's nearly half the time that's gone by so far, Billy, and they're looking for the teleport off the high ground. The Earth Shatter laid down. It's onto the Baptiste. That's the Riptire gone in the immortality field. They're waiting for it to go down, but it's too little, too late. Widowmaker shall take it out of the equation. JD, though, still alive and kicking in the backline. All to sustain the tree of life. This squad is working so incredibly well together to keep them up. Yes, it is expensive, but the fact that they survived all of that chaos is impressive nonetheless.
Gravitic Flux and the Ant Matrix ready to go for the Spartans. A Shatter is almost built up again by Cheeky Scrub. I'm enamored with this Reinhardt play. I mean, the play is just so clean. They're looking for a high ground teleport. You can see him going around the side.
They're going around back. What else can they really manage to find? The Sigma is cut off and isolated. Dashing Ed doesn't have a life grip. Help them out this time. Got so incredibly low. It's another Cheeky Scrub. This should not be allowed in the game. That dashing finally down. Once that falls, the rest of the dominoes, Francis Howell soon to crumble. They're trying to back out as much as they can, avoid the staggers. A lot of their players are low, but it's still coming through. Cheeky Scrub snipes V-Man Trio off the pedal platform. The guy's just on a different level, built different.
I hope that there are college recruiters looking right now.
Please.
Hey, Maryville, so close to these kids. you can really, really get some developmental players going on there. Cheeky Scrub,
Oh
not
my
taking
God.
no for an answer.
No, I mean, that's it. Cheeky Scrub making that play right now, even if Francis doesn't get the touch. STD kills the whole team here. Okay, that's a little bit more than I expected. This is still winnable. This is actually very winnable right now. They're coming back into the fight. Windowmakers on the high ground, uncontested. Genji coming in, dashing through, but JD on the support. Oh, barely any health remaining. But the hold will come through 24 seconds for St. Charles, Billy. Can they get the touch?
They're going to have the photon barrier. They're going to have the artillery strike, but they're going into a tree and a window and a blade. Oh, this is going to be explosive. If Cheeky Scrub can get a pin and take one of these players out, because they are known for it, I think that they can actually get this done.
Do it. Just actually initiate photon barrier out. Windowmaker about to take things and go. Boom, it's explosive on the player, but a lot of Dragon Blade. Who needs big old fancy explosive? You got a good old-fashioned sword. Will be shut down eventually, but it gives their team enough room to start working their shadow. Didn't hit a whole lot of anything, Billy. And JD, the final nail in the coffin. This is Francis Howell Central coming out with a round 1 victory.
That was emphatic, and that was scary, and it was decisive, and that's what we needed from Francis Howell Central. Kata, the blade, was too dang good. Actually, massive, monstrous, beautiful, gargantuan, getting it all done. And that is it. That is the ace. We'll see the ace come through right here at the very end. They save the ace for Kata, and Kata gets it done also. You know what? We need to have a lot of recruiters looking at this, and we will have this up on YouTube and on Twitch later on as part of the VOD package. But man, if you're not watching this right now and you are a college recruiter and you're looking for a DPS or anybody for your team, these two teams have some serious talent that needs to be vouched for.
And we've seen some of the highest talent out there. I mean, we've seen top level collegiate. We've seen even you've done contenders, which is the only thing higher than the pro leagues there, and they have potential. The fact that this is where they're at now, at a high school level, will never not blow me away. The competition continues to get tougher and tougher. I mean, as these games have gone on, and I mean, this grand finals, it is just put something else into Francis Howell today. They've been consistent across the board with their performances, but they've been dominant in map number 1 of Route 66. The only thing that I can give some credit to on the other side for St. Charles is we knew that their composition was not going to work out well. On most of that map, they fell behind as a result. Game 2. This is your chance to get a refresher. Brawl much more viable in this situation. But how different is it actually going to be? Because Francis Howell has simply been claiming eliminations before the fights have started. And when you're doing that, St. Charles, they're thrown off their own track. They can't take these battles the way that they would like to, and are having a difficult time recovering.
You know what I would love, and I'm remembering, earlier series, the JV squad had a player, Rhoda 7, played the Echo flawlessly. Do you remember the Ramatra copies?
How could I forget that?
So, I mean, if this is not working, I don't know if it's allowed, but I mean, there's in the same school, they're a junior member of this esports team. I would love to see an Echo come out here and kind of change the eye level, because JD and Kata back onto what we knew them from earlier today, up against the Foxes. This is where they started to turn it around. This is where they got beat earlier today, actually, by Foxes. And yeah, I mean, this is what I want to look at. I want to see what kind of change can they make here. Ugh, God, it's so tough here, especially now that you're running into what we consider their standard composition, is this Orisa-based brawl.
But if you're getting JD first, it's something to work off of it. That's the thing, though, Billy, right? Is that dashing is an unstoppable force, similar to the way that we've seen Cheeky Scrub in the past, but the Orisa just so much more staying power, the range, the increased output of damage, and they act first, they act faster. That's what gets them these fights.
I want to see if they're going to actually take the entire fight here, if they're going to kind of back up, wait for their cooldowns to come back, and then re-engage with the second fight. Looks like they are going to actually keep pushing here. So, I mean, Dashing Escape is just kind of standing there. They're looking for the teleport. Oh boy, that's off the table right now. They have a free fight here.
Go in right now. Take advantage of not having that extra bit of nobility. There's already Riptire, Billy. Why am I'm not surprised. I can't be surprised at this point. JD, Riptire on the table, and it is immediately popped on out. The immortality is not even an option right now. You can see them all backing off, waiting for the Riptire to come in, but it's lost. Cheeky Scrub was so worried about it, but the rest of the team couldn't handle the pressure either. Silent Ice and Ice Meal Bacon down and out, and Francis Howell, they've made record time towards getting to this first checkpoint.
But Scratch at 8:09. I'm writing this down because I need to ask people how fast they've seen this happen. And I mean, there has not been a contest since they took this point over. Cooldowns being rushed out. We're going to see if this Terror Surge comes out and if they decide to pair anything with it. I think that you wait for the artillery strike to come out and then put that through it.
Yeah, it's a combo we actually haven't seen today. Shocks me, considering how well these teams have comboed their ults with it. That's going to be your best case scenario. Dashing look like they wanted to do it here. Holding on a little bit longer. This for the Terror Surge would want to come out. Immortality field has to be popped. It's the Bastion Symmetra at full charge. What's going to keep your tank alive? Oh, it's the support pouring in. The sound barrier along the back. We didn't quite get the combo because it wasn't exactly needed. 3 ults utilized from Francis Howell Central. And the robot, good old Timmy here, is on the push. It's not going to stop anytime soon, especially with these staggers that look like they're about to roll in, Billy. Cheeky Scrub, you have to get out. Silent Ice as well. They're going to live to fight another day.
Fire from behind could be an option here if JD decides to get cheeky with it. Nope, we're noping out of there and going away. So that's a great fight win here for St. Charles. And they do it on the back of one ultimate, well, 2 ultimates came out, or Shatter came out earlier in the fight. But I mean, you're coming up on 3 ultimates. So you have some power here to kind of move along. But the problem is, even with the 6-minute 30, it's going to take 4 fights for you to get to where Francis Howell is. They are already over the 110-meter threshold. It's done.
Yeah. That's it. Only the Amp Matrix. That's it. You still have the Riptire. Billy, yes, set caught up. This is the hero we've known them for. And it just continues to deliver. I mean, this is almost beyond the point. It probably is beyond the point of no return. Oh, that's Stagger 2. That hurts.
High ground tire. They've got forward spawns again. I mean, I don't know what else they can really get done there. You know, they're kind of moving back. Nice shots coming in from Silent Ice again. Their Baptiste play, by the way, has been just as good as what we saw from Mango, if not better. God, this is so good for them.
Oh, Mikata just being on the Bastion, simply existing. It's the initiation speed of which this team is able to take the pace up. They're driving the bus home, and they are about to hit the checkpoint. It's going to be a full completion on here, Coliseo. You don't see this happen often, Billy. You do not. Francis Howell Central Spartans on match point.
Was that 6:21? Is that the time that I just saw?
It might have been.
That has to be the fastest I have ever. Nope, it wasn't. It was 5. No, let's see, 5:51, 5:50. Either way, that is incredibly fast for a push map. I mean, that was dominance. One fight won by St. Charles, and then they just turn it with one Amp Matrix and a Kata on the other side of it. Just gets it absolutely done. This is next level stuff coming from them. 5:50 on the clock for sure. And now we're looking at Francis Howell on championship point. St. Charles, do you have anything left in the tank? You have battled so hard all day long. You've only had one loss, and I'm worried. I'm worried because this Francis Howell team is looking like an absolute machine.
I mean, can Francis Howell be stopped on the momentum, the snowball that they're building right now? And in an aspect of competition, that's true across the board, regardless of if it's a video game or not, is your mental game, your mental fortitude. When you know that you're down, you know that you're hurting, can you come back from that? And it almost seems at St. Charles, they're falling deeper into that hole. At Coliseo, to put it frankly, that was not close. In regards, that was not close, all right? You have one more map. St. Charles has done so good the entire day. You do not want to go down like this. Put up a good fight. You have one more chance to help turn your series around. You gotta be flawless from here on out, though, because Francis is just on a different. They're just a different kind of beast right now. They know the victory is close, Billy, and that makes them even more difficult to stop.
I mean, this is just this has just been brutal. As we head into Blizzard World, it is this is not a favorable map for a Reinhardt. You can get stuff done because there are short alleys and short points of departure that you can get these short range pins in, and you can really lock people up into corners. The problem is when you get to point B, the high ground, putting an Orisa up there really does take away a lot of your options, and especially with how good the combo between the Baptiste and the Bastion has been for St. Francis or Francis Howell. I mean, this is brutal for them. We're gonna see Francis Howell come out on the attack. They are on championship point, everybody. We're looking to see, does St. Charles have anything left in the tank? We'll be meeting each other in battle in about 15 seconds.
They're on the defense first, so they're gonna set the pace. They're gonna know what they will have to accomplish on their own attack. Still on the Reinhardt. No reason to change. It reminds me of words from my school's collegiate team is every map is a Reinhardt map. And when you have Cheeky Scrub, great, that's fine, you do that. But when I see what Francis Howell's cooking, Billy, I see JD on the Symmetra, I see Kata on the Bastion. I mean, they're just gonna look to teleport straight on through. There's pending damage with a couple options. Right up to the high ground, not recommended. You just skip that altogether. Move to the point and make St. Charles come to you. Big choice. And actually a very good one when you think about it. You might not have the high ground, but you're forcing Cheeky Scrub. Look at the pressure that they're under. Immortality field out. Great timing from Silent Ice, but that's still not going to save the Reinhardt from a full charge Symmetra beam. Trades even so far. 3v3 on the field. Windowmaker on this high ground somehow, but they're cut off. There's no support for this team. And point all the meanwhile was forgotten. 5.5 minutes, and Francis Howell, they're moving.
They're going to take the point here. Francis Howell is going to take the point. They have point presence. They have 2 on the point. They are going to be able to capture this relatively easily. They just kind of waited in reserve. Like you've got your reserve players coming through. JD back over to the Junkrat. Lot more spam damage. They are going through. They have the point. They are into the park itself. Looking for a high ground hold here. We need to see what Cheeky Scrub can get done up top. Artillery strike almost online for Windowmaker. Bread not even close to a sound barrier.
You have the Earth Shatter. That's your best option right now. That Earth Shatter. Laying it down, putting some people on the back, like just immobilizing. That's it. That's what you're working off of if you're St. Charles right now. You have a ton of tools. Please don't blow them all at once. I mean, this payload is getting closer to the objective. You need to act now. Cheeky Scrub finally on the low ground, but Francis are just, they're seeking it out from under their noses. Can they get a touch? No! Billy! It was just walked through! Howell Central didn't even have to take a fight throughout this match. St. Charles, they're going to be kicking themselves for that one later, as that is 6 minutes for 3rd point.
Ow. Ow. Swaps coming through. St. Charles. I Smell Bacon going on to the Reaper. We know that the Reaper from I Smell Bacon is good. Will they be able to deal with dashing escape here on the Orisa? That's the problem. Because with a javelin or with an energy javelin, you get the work. The tire is ready to go up front. The app matrix is out.
The odds are stacked against St. Charles so heavily right now. And
they're running.
It buys them half the point. They're going for a rotation. Please don't do what you did last time. At least get a fight onto this objective. Like they're taking their time so much that you're only allowing yourself one fight per objective. You need an elimination, and Ice Meal Bacon shall deliver. That's JD out of the fight. Francis still committing pretty heavily. As a matter of fact, there's 3 ultimates that they've used so far, and it's to come out big. Windowmaker shutting down Carta. Something to work with. Where's the tank? Where's the tank? Where's Ice Meal Bacon right now? You have to shred through the Orisa, who has plenty of support. It's just not going to happen. Even the Terra Surge put down St. Charles. What do you have to contest? You have an artillery strike. It's popped in the going to last. The sustain, not there. And JD to shut it down. They gained time, 4 minutes and 19 seconds from the start of this map. Francis Howell Central. Can they be stopped?
This is an opus of excellence being put out by Francis Howell. They came to play. They have treated this entire tournament with business-like perfection. And it is culminating in a whoop down of your hometown St. Charles High Varsity Cyber Corsairs. Ay, ay, ay. That is brutal. And I mean, there was no chance to stop him. I mean, the rotations were too clean. JD was getting into positions that they never should have been able to get into. And they did it time and time again. So this is what we're looking at. St. Charles, they need a miracle to keep themselves in the championship match. Otherwise, they are going to take the silver home.
It's stacked against them right now. And Francis Howell, they're confident. You can see it in the way that they're playing. And I mean, St. Charles, they got big ideas, but they're almost too big for the map that they're playing in. They just took so many chances to actually battle away from themselves because they were making longer rotations, and it resulted in probably one of the fastest completions of Blizzard World that I have ever seen. This is a mountain that you have to climb right now, and you're running it on your OG favorite comp, the Reinhardt with the Brawl, the Symmetra Teleporters. That's the name of the game. Get yourself in their backline. Find a way to dislodge Kata and JD. Move around them. Don't be vulnerable. Do the crossfire. Windowmaker goes down along the way. It's not looking too good for Cheeky Scrub and the rest of the squad right now. Decides to send it on the Mercy, but as a result, leaves the rest of their team high and dry. This match, St. Charles High Varsity, they're not going to find it just yet.
The fact that they're out on the Mercy. Evil. The fact that they are damage boosting the Bastion. Extra evil. The only thing that would make this worse is if there was a Mei. That would be the only thing that makes this worse is a Mei. I mean, the fact that JD almost has a tire already.
Oh my goodness.
Again,
Christ.
and they weren't getting blue beamed. It was the Bastion getting blue beamed.
The evil laughter. This is evil. Francis Howell, they know exactly what they're doing right now. You're giving Kata even more power, like he even needs it. Plus JD, just to swoop in from above the Riptire, claiming the lives of supports. He's not going to be stopped. He's not. There are 2.5 minutes left in this game. Francis Howell Central have not faltered yet, and the longer this goes on, the less likely it seems it's going to happen.
I mean, it almost feels inevitable. Inexorable. Unbelievable coming for them. And I mean, they're getting it done. They're getting it done. They're putting out their opus here. Their opus magnum. This is their swan song. This is their championship match. And they are taking all the stops out and getting it done.
They can't even get to point. St. Charles can't get to point without losing a player. Francis Howell, they're prepared. They know everybody move. The playbook St. Charles High Varsity provided might as well have given it to Francis. They've read it, they've memorized it, and are counteracting it.
The Glockster!
They haven't lost. NB Man Trio. You want to block this point? And what do you do? What do you do for St. Charles High, Billy?
GG's. I think we're at the point now where it's less than 90 seconds. You've got this photon barrier. You've got a shatter. Give me one good shatter here, Cheeky. Get a fight win with a shatter. Let them have it. Send your swan song out there, and then we'll see. Sound barrier is about ready to go. This could be also a way for them to get in.
It might have to be the way you get in, because you haven't been able to get there. The tank is the one that teleports first. It's just Cheeky on the objective right now. Where is the rest of St. Charles? Okay, everyone's jumping down to go get Cheeky. The Earth Shatter's laid down, but since there's no Baptiste to help support the tank, yeah, that's just not happening. You don't have the extra extra damage to come on in. Francis Howell, the rotations are simply too clean to come on up. They're throwing ultimates into this fight that they don't even need to commit, Billy. That is how confident that they are right now. The victory only 30 seconds away.
And you get the res as well. Just to add insult to injury, they have their Bastion back up. Tyre ready to go for JD. I mean, do we see a 5-man Tyre? They don't know he's here.
No, they don't. JD, he's gonna do it to him. He's coming out around the corner. He's gonna hit two! This is just as good as done. Francis Howell Central have shut down St. Charles High in the grand final series. It has not looked that close so far. There's one more contest coming on through. One last ditch effort. Bread on the objective, playing for their life right now, but inevitably fighting a losing battle because the Francis Howell Central Spartans are your St. Charles Overwatch Invitational High School champions.
That was fabulous out from them. What a fantastic tournament. What a result coming out from your Francis Howell Central Spartans. This was dominant. This was just perfect from them. They get the job done. They take the win 3-0 in the championship match, and they are your champions for 2023.
They deserve it. They deserve it. Everything that we got to see out of Francis Howell. We saw them lose one map, Billy. That is it. And even that one map that they managed to lose was incredibly close. Other than that, I mean, darn near close to perfection from the squad today. If anybody is looking to play Overwatch in college, I mean, look at this team. College recruiters, this is your squad. This is your squad right here. Clearly, they understand how to play the game of Overwatch, down to the mechanics, down to the rotation style, just the understanding that they have rivals some of the best out there, and you just do not find that in a high school setting. So the fact that we can say that Francis is as good as they are, like, do not take these words lightly at all.
Well, it has been a fantastic day. It has been a day full of competition. You know, some went some way, some went another way. You know, we got to see the hometown, the hosts, be in the grand finals. They do fall 3-0, but that's going to do it for myself, Chef Billy, and Tiny. Thank you to AppCon, giving us all the beautiful pictures, making sure that we look good, and you know, it makes our job easy. Thanks to Krim and everybody with CCG. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time. Be good to each other, be better humans, and show some love.